Hello, everybody, and welcome to an intro that was definitely not recorded after the episode itself. Welcome, everybody, to episode 61.5 of the Strip Poker Night at the ItWasntMyFault Podcast. I'm your host, spnanon. With me is my co-host, nmasp, and our returning guest, who's definitely not returning from a 5-minute break, but from an entire week break, of course. It wasn't my fault. Dawn of the Dev, as we said, and also Dev of the Dawn, and a couple other upcoming characters. So we already covered main roster characters. We're going to be covering testing characters next one of these shorter episodes, since we're doing this shorter format. Instead, we're going to be focusing this episode on some other goings-on around the SPNatI-verse. So we got side content like epilogues, just other community events, feedback polls, resorts, all that good stuff. We're just chilling. We're just talking about the game as a whole. There's something for everybody. And if you're planning on making your own epilogues or of course fapping to them, you're in for a treat. Hope you enjoy this newer format. It's a little easier to digest. It's a little easier to get done in one shot. And we will see you later.
Okay. So we're back from our break that you don't know about because we always cut it out. Except, Solitaire's cheeky this time, so he might just leave it in.
Yeah, good to talk to you guys last week.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened.
Oh yeah,
it was a whole week.
Wow,
a break.
An entire week.
It's like old Let's Players. They just played 10 minutes of a game at a time, and then turned it off, and then waited a week, and then played another 10 minutes.
Just a week away.
So it's in the past couple years, SPNatI's been in a bit of a rut in terms of like content variety. You could say it was pretty much just characters, and characters were as they were, and there wasn't a lot of side content. There used to be a little more accessible in terms of like epilogues, and you get collectibles sometimes, but as far as like it was pretty much just characters. That's all we had for a good while. I'd say like 2021, 2020, that really sort of just became the norm. Things are changing. People are starting to break into the epilogues thing. They're not quite as taboo or as scary. People aren't quite as psyched out about making them. Because not only did we get Mari's epilogue pretty recently, but she succeeded in inspiring some other creators to jump on the bandwagon. We got 2 new epilogues to talk about. One, in fact, is a dual epilogue. So we are going to go ahead and start with that dual epilogue. We have a very sweet and a very appropriately saccharine epilogue with Bernadetta visiting Nagisa's house. I don't know how she got there, but yeah, this medieval European character is visiting like contemporary Japan to bake cookies and have a sweet little sleepover where they discuss the boys they like.
Who happens to be you?
So, Fault, what did you think of the Bernie Nagisa epilogue?
Well, first off, I think the art was very good. Horsekiller kills it, like he does horses, when it comes to art. In terms of the dialogue and the story that came along with the epilogue, I think it came up pretty well. Obviously, I'm not of the opinion that like everything should always be about the player. I say that as a hypocrite, as I wrote on. But the art was fantastic. The little bit of lewdness at the end was appreciated. I thought it was just going to be all peachy keen, wholesome 100. I'd say for a little bit of criticism, the pacing could have been a little better executed. I felt like just kind of dragging on with the back and forth between Bernadetta and is it Nagisa or Nagisa? Nagisa. I kind of felt like it was kind of dragging on at some points, but other than that, I think it came out pretty well, especially for the little epilogue drought that we've had for quite a long time.
That idea of dialogue dragging on is something that I myself have kind of been guilty of, because I mean, like Epilogue's visuals can be so static that you sometimes just feel like you have to fill the dead air by having them talk more, because the visuals can't always speak for themselves. So I definitely get that.
Oh yeah, I don't have any experience with making epilogues, so this is just more of like a gripe from a plebeian.
You should really try it out. You can stick your penis in Dawn with enough effort.
Whoa, damn! I didn't think about that. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
You could Squirtle on her Jigglypuffs. You can Dragonite these nuts.
Holy fuck, dude.
Across her face.
We're going to classic Dawn dialogue here.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You can pull down those panties and show her Butterfree. Yeah, you can get her Butterfree. nmasp, what did you think of the Bernie Nagisa sleepover epilogue?
I really liked it. Like, I really, really liked it. I think the theme, the Pokemon puns were very distracting. I really liked. I think epilogues like that are kind of like the best epilogue. Man, what do I think about this? I think any epilogue is better than no epilogue. I think the low hanging fruit here is very low. I think, like, in the best possible way, a great epilogue is an epilogue that just gives you more time with that character in a context that's kind of relevant. And I think, like, the idea of, like, Bernie and Nagisa, who are both super sweet, like, baking together and kind of taking a bath together is just like it's very true to their characters and it's extremely cute. And then, like, you get a little bit of sex stuff at the end where they're both, like, masturbating in bed next to each other without, like, talking about it. And that was really hot to me. I think that's, like, true, like, good stuff. I think, like, epilogues where you just like Rosa's, right? Rosa's is like, well, which we'll get to in a second, is like you just get what you came for and then you come and you go. Like, great. You come as you go. But I think, like, the artistry on the Bernie Nagisa epilogue is just so cute and it's so true to their characters. It's like, that's like a really good epilogue. Even if, like, yeah, you're not like just like banging their brains out. Like, you don't have to. And I think that's okay. I honestly have no criticism for it. I think, like, if I were to give any, it would be like, I don't know, fantasize about them banging the player to, like, add a scene on there at the end or, like, at the middle or something. But that's superfluous. It was just perfect. It was great as it was.
The cookies could look a little more appetizing. They were basically just discs.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I mean, like, you're not wrong, but, like, it's such a petty criticism.
It was distracting. It's like you just baked some cylinders.
Okay.
I don't know.
I was kind of hoping that the jelly that they were putting on was actually chocolate, but I'm like, they said there was jelly, and like, yeah, never mind.
Okay.
So it's not a super sexy epilogue, but with these two characters, you got to expect the sweetness and the cuteness, and that's not really my thing. I've enjoyed writing targets to Nagisa recently in Andres's, like, pigeons chat, because they're just, like, such different characters. Maya's just like, yes, and people die every day, and it's fucking if the gravity failed, we'd all just be floating bodies. And Nagisa's just like, I don't want to go to space anymore. But this is sort of like two cakes just, like, slamming into each other.
It's so good.
As far as, like, the sugary saccharine sweetness, and if that's what you're into, it's just, like, fun, cute hijinks. I mean, that's you get what you came for. It's not really for me, but it did make me chuckle.
All right. So, keeping time, moving on to Hanako's art update. Hanako, we have about 5 minutes. So go ahead. It wasn't my fault. You get a minute and a half. I'll get a minute, and SPNatI gets a minute and a half.
Come on, we're burning daylight here, you could say.
Go.
We're burning daylight. I've always, it's just my always stupid luck is every time I play with Hanako, even before her art update, I can never get past her fucking underwear. I can never get fucking her fully undressed. That being said, I still love the new art. Just, it was Spaceman who did the art, right?
Who did do the art for Hanako's art update?
I think Spaceman did the pipelines, right?
Yeah, this is basically like a triumph of pipelines.
Yeah, because
It fucking burns the burn texture on her, like how smooth and even it is. Ironically,
it came out fantastic. Her hair, the burns. I think this was a well executed art update. That's my 1 minute, probably more, but yeah.
Cool. I think it's cute. I think like getting people out of their schoolgirl uniforms is like generally just a good idea. I think in Hanako's outfit, it's particularly interesting. I think the big thing with Hanako is like the art update is great, but it would be cool to kind of continue to see more lines come out from her. I think like art updates are nice, but it's like putting a band-aid on a character. Like, yeah, you're putting your best foot forward, but you still need to learn how a personality. And not to say that Hanako doesn't, or just like targeted lines are king, and getting more lines from her is a good idea. Spell?
I'd say like an art update goes a lot further than any one writing update. So
I think, yeah, but like
the net positive is so high.
Sure.
It's basically never wrong to update the art unless you're like BB and you ruin it. Don't ruin it.
Yeah. Don't do a worse job.
As long as they look better, which isn't really an issue anymore. Everyone's pretty good at Kisuke.
The general skill of Kisuke has improved over the years.
Yeah, but this is I'd say this is the triumph of pipelines. I'm gonna really have to break this girl down and study her pipelines and figure out how this shit works.
Yeah, the pipelines are really
I'm sure
good.
I could find some applications for it.
Oh yeah, well I'm sure you can. So
pipelines are still intimidating to me.
They're not that bad. I did them for Marinette. It takes some work, but it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah, for like the bodysuit, right? Like I should probably do that for Maya.
Check. Yeah, I don't think you need to do that because, like, for me, it was like a very interesting case. But yeah, go take a look. Okay, moving on to Rosa's epilogue.
Yes, so Mari was not the only one to get a fairly simple epilogue. She inspired another creator, Nord, to give one to yet another Pokegirl. This is our third Pokegirl of the cast.
Yes.
I guess that was last week's episode technically, but we're recording this all at once. This is Rosa's epilogue from Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. And well, there's not much to spoil because it's not very long. If Mari was like the basic, like here's what an epilogue can be, like Rosa is like even more distilled. This is like the closest thing we have to like an instant loss to coma.
Yeah.
Which I'm a fan of.
This is literally just after the game. It's like, hey player, what's up? Oh, you want to mating press me? Oh fuck, come in me player. Okay, we're done now.
Cool, that was great. She actually has a line later, like if you've played that epilogue, she's like, I'm really glad I didn't get pregnant from that. And I'm just like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it.
And that's really all there is to it. What did you think, Fault?
Having unlocked that epilogue just yesterday and saw it, I'm a big fan. I might do something like that. I had an idea like that before, where it's just kind of like Dawn invites you to do some field research, and you just go fuck in the woods or something.
I appreciate if she's just like very bad at like the innuendo, being like, yes, why don't you come take a look at this like pollination event, and then you come in her, and it's good. Don't overcomplicate things, friends and foes.
Yes. Yeah, epilogue was fantastic for just being that short and sweet.
It doesn't lie to you about what it is.
It's just straight to the point.
It's probably what a lot of players honestly would prefer, is that like they're already amped up from the game and they don't want more build up. They just want to fuck immediately.
I think Sakura does that in a little bit, but like there's like more of a delay in it. But yeah, it's
definitely worth considering. Just make an epilogue with like one sex position. Like that's honestly better than nothing. That's going to be enough for most people.
Trailing off a little bit with Sakura's epilogue, I think that was one of my favorites, just because like the sex thing is right away, but then there's also just like post-coitus, like quote unquote cuddling.
Also post-mortem cuddling.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, let's go with that.
And then
Yeah.
post coitus mortem.
Oh God. Anyway, kind of. But all right. So moving on to the next. Moving on to the resort discussion.
Hold
What?
on.
Okay.
I gotta mention, like,
Okay.
the big
Okay.
thing that makes Rosa's epilogue kind of work is that she uses like custom assets, literally assets posted here, like the legs up, ass out,
Those are some assets.
and that's what makes it like really stand out visually, and it looks great. Like this is a series, and it uses like a couple other like special like penis visuals too, like a kind of like a front on view or like a POV sort of. That's not just like top down like Kisuke usually is. Like these are custom made stuff, but it's like all in a zip folder that anyone can access on our Discord. So other people can make this stuff. Like the like when you pull out of her, it looks really like natural. The way it like kind of flops down, all flaccid. It looks great. I personally really enjoy the nice full frontal view of her asshole, but and the cum leaking out and all that good stuff. If I had to criticize it though, the one thing is that like the dick is like transparent and you can see the opening of like her vagina.
Well, I mean, that's kind of appealing in its own. Like depending on who you are.
That's precisely the problem though, is that you can see yourself fucking her and like going in and out, but you can also see like the actual vaginal opening, and it's like it has not been expanded, so you're just like phasing into her.
I think I personally believe that to be fine, but
no, that was very distracting to me. Like you have to edit it. I think I may have done that myself in my own epilogues. You have to edit that to make her vaginal opening actually fit the penis. Otherwise, it just looks weird.
Wow,
like, what are you
amazing.
What are you fucking? The membrane?
Dude, I don't know. Come on, dude. Like
Some guys go after that. I think
that's extremely distracting. Even just like make the penis opaque if that's what you're gonna do.
Sure. Okay.
Although don't do that, because then you make the balls opaque and then I can't see your asshole.
Okay. All right. So speaking about opaque things, let's talk about the resort discussion.
The incredibly transparent resort methodology.
Yeah,
we had a recent resort. It's been like 6 months since the last one.
God, whatever happened to the resort? What actually happened in the resort this time? It's been a while. So those of you who are like, what the fuck is a resort? It's like, so every 6 months or so, the moderators take it upon themselves to do a curated community poll across various demographics, i.e., the people who write for the game, the people that made characters for the game, the people that were like obsessed with the game, the people that post on Reddit. And at the end of this, based on the number of votes a character gets, and based on a couple other factors, we determine the order of the roster, with the idea being that the characters at the top of the roster are good representatives for the game, such that someone who just like clicks into it is like, oh, I'm going to pick any character at random from the top of the list and have a good time. And then, that's not what actually happens. They just scroll down to people they know. Yeah, but so that's the idea. In practice, it's a little bit like, how big is your character dick? Like, how did you do? Did you write a good character?
And how big is your community presence?
Exactly. So it's a little bit of everything, but good resort, I think. I don't really, again, I am scrambling to pull, I did not expect to have to talk about this, so I'm just scrambling to pull up the resort and the roster now to see where people are.
It's it occurred to much debate because we're discussing how to make it a little less hyper competitive and sort of like focusing on like either like a fuzzy sort of randomness or like a tiering system, which I'm in favor of. It's more qualitative. So too much debate leading up to it, which hasn't really been implemented yet, at least not this time. But too little fanfare. Most resorts get a little bit more attention, and this one did not get much turnout. On like the dev side, a lot of people didn't vote. I think the summer had an impact on that too. Yeah, the subreddit, a lot of people didn't vote. It was just like lower turnout in general, which is kind of strange. But I guess people just felt kind of burnt out about it with all the debate. Yeah, it really can be kind of unpredictable sometimes, just like who comes out to vote that week. Hint, hint, U.S. midterms, similar issues. Just whoever feels like voting that week can drastically sway.
I'm voting for Dark Brandon. Yeah, I'm voting for Dark Brandon. Don't worry.
I don't even know what that shit is, man.
I think Dark Brandon is the funniest fucking beat. Anyway, let's talk about
I don't even know what
neoliberalism.
what is it? It's like Joe Biden with laser eyes. I don't get it.
Yeah.
What is
We'll talk about this later. But anyway, so Fault as someone with Dawn did okay.
I'm sorry, but like 2016 just like ruined political memes for me because it was like it was like funny. Everyone was having a good time. And then it's like
oh
you're
no,
playing pranks.
the memes became real.
It's like you're playing. It's like you're playing pranks with your friends, right? And then like someone dies from it. It's like
it's just a prank,
it's not
bro.
funny anymore.
All right, so Fault, what did you think about? What did you think about your resort performance? How do you think Dawn did? Who was around Dawn? Any kind of learnings from going into this? And I forget, you've written other characters besides Dawn, or?
I'm co-writing Noelle.
Okay.
She's still in testing.
Right. Okay, cool. So yeah, Dawn was your first resort effort. Nice work. Cool. So what do you think? Just give us like a couple minutes of thoughts on it, and then we'll head over to me and head over to spnanon.
Yeah. How did Dawn do? How high up did she get?
She's not as high up as one would want their character to be, especially their first character. But like, I kind of feel like that's kind of on me, not being very active in the Discord or the subreddit. I didn't even announce that she was added to the main roster on the subreddit, as I know some people do that.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of like self-marketing that you have to do.
Yeah, that's all on me. Personal life gets in the way very easily. I'm also very distractible. Even from porn, I'm distracted from the porn.
In my infinite generosity, I'm pretty sure I voted for her, even though she didn't write any lines to Maya about how she's a Team Galactic grunt.
Yeah, I cannot believe that. Like, anyway, go ahead. Sorry, go on.
Dawn will come for her eventually. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, and she also kind of came out at the tail end of the resorts too, like because I was trying to squeeze her into the resorts after getting her sponsors done. It was kind of cool actually. I pushed her sponsorship updates, and they gave me the list of like everything I need to fix. And like, you got till tonight to finish it. And I just replied like, I can get this done sooner than that. And I just spent like an entire 4 hours just like cranking out everything, including like fixing some of the resolutions of like the poses. A lot of cleanup, really, not anything too serious. But in terms of the her position, I'm happy with it. I would have liked her higher, but you know what? That's on me. I'm happy where she is now.
All right. Well, good. As for me, I thought and talked a lot at length about the resorts in the past. I think I'm continuously flattered that Natsuki stayed right up there in the top 3. Leon made it to row 1. So once again, I'm back up there. Got a lot of characters in the top. I think I got 3 characters in the top 20 this time. I got Adrian still up there doing really well. Leon and Natsuki, cool. Yeah, I had a good time. I think 3 sorts good. I think like as someone who's like doing less in the game, it's really cool to see the characters that do continue to rise and continue to do well. I think like Mari, both the Maris did really well. Kumatora continued to do really well. Hutao, excellent. spnanon, your characters always do great. I think it was really cool to see Fina kind of continue going up. I do understand the concerns that like it can get a little hard to progress once you get above a certain point, but I do think it goes to show that like hey, just write good horny dialogue and you can go pretty far.
When will Cypher return from the war?
I don't know. All I know is that like Cypher did a really good job with Fina. Fina's incredibly detailed, and then what's her name? Rita was not super received well. And I think it really bummed him off of development, which is a shame because like the guy clearly has the aptitude to do a really good job here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. spnanon, what do you think?
I don't remember. I don't remember the reception for Rita being like vitriolic.
No, but like I think it was more negative than he was really hoping for. I think Fina was probably not as positive as he was hoping for, and I think Rita was a little bit more negative than he expected. Like I remember like when I was talking about Rita, like I think she's fine, but I do think that it's like we'll revisit that at some other point. But it's like I do hope that he comes back to us.
Yeah, it's a shame. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, even Fina by herself as she is just a great lasting legacy on the game. She's a great character.
Okay, what do you think of the resort spin-on?
Well, it's pretty hard for me to complain, isn't it? Because
I'm in the same boat. Yeah, she
got the first position again, and partly due to men getting nerfed again. Jura and Revi also rose. And again, I'm always eternally humbled and humbled by and appreciative of all the support they get. And like I've continued working on them, but I haven't done anything like super special, like knock down, like slam dunk. Like yes, this is going to propel me back up to slot 1, which really goes to show that like it really can just be kind of a gamble sometimes. It's just a roll of the dice in terms of who votes and who they vote for. Because, like, you know, Maya, Natsuki, Nami, it really could have been any of them.
I'm really happy Natsuki does as well as she does. I'm really stoked that, you know, like, Blue Jay, A+. Like, I'm so happy that Leon did as well as he did, because that's definitely not my writing. He's just a really good model. And I also really like that Leon and, like, Hutao are right next to each other. I think Napsu would have really liked... yeah, just coincidence. Definitely not engineered. No, it was a coincidence. I do think that, like, unfortunately, that puts like Hutao and Mari kind of like in direct competition, which I can see being very interesting if Viz and Napsu decide to brawl it out, because I don't think Maya, Natsuki, and Nami are going anywhere. So we'll see what happens.
I love the support for Maya, obviously, but
yeah,
I hope people didn't like deliberately not vote for Nami just because she'd been up on slot 1 for a while, because she totally deserves it. Like she's absolutely one of the game's best characters in every way.
I mean, I think it's like, you know, like I think anything in the top 20. I think like anything in the top 20, even the top, like anything in the top 20 is like A tier content. Like like the top 20 are like the absolute best the game can do, and then the next 20 are like
This is why I advocate for a tiering system, because like I just don't like it when people treat this as like a zero-sum game. Like
right,
you can just vote for everyone that's good. It doesn't have to be like, to the exclusion of someone else.
I mean, like look at this, right? Like so, like Natsuki is in number 1. Like you don't have like you go down like 3 rows and then you're down at Megumin again. And it's like, okay, those 2 characters could easily be competing for the same position, or then like Senko is like 1 more down from that. And like I don't know, like
by the way, Megumin lives, Wibbly lives.
Oh yeah, dude, super hype. But anyway, that's kind of how I feel about the resort. I think it was a good resort. I just think the game keeps getting better and better. It's always really exciting to see new characters, but it's also just like the resort's a good chance for you to see kind of where your characters fall and who the characters they fall next to. And I think that's a good like way to form coalitions, is like interact with the people on the same rank as your characters. And I think you're going to do really well, right? Because it's like either you need more lines or like you need some like pizzazz. Not to say like, so for instance, like I'm looking at like, I don't know, like Starfire, right? Like Starfire is by Seren, Galatea, Asuna, and Pinkie Pie, right? Like if Starfire interacted with those characters, I think she'd climb, like for instance, or, you know, Turandot is 1 row above that. She's near Sly Cooper, Estelle, Mikan, and Dark Magician Girl, same thing. You know, like if you pick the characters around you, you can.
Who the fuck didn't vote for Turandot? I want names.
Turandot only has like 1,400. Like she has 1,300 lines. Like there's a reason why she didn't go up as much as she did. You know, or could have.
No, there were a bunch of. She didn't get that many votes. I know she can't be Googled, but fuck, you don't have to.
Yeah,
it's all there on the table.
Something to remember is like if you're kind of appealing to audiences who've never played your characters before, the dev base is like. This is kind of like, so this is like how Streaming Chan got like really high for a couple of resources, you just target the characters in the top 20 and then like, they get associated and then you just play up, Streaming Chan has fallen a lot. I can't find her anywhere. Did I just like scroll past her maybe? Yeah, that's actually, I think I did.
It's been a while since she really got along.
She's right next to Samus.
She's she's down there by Samus and Rouge, so she's doing fine. But like I think like Streaming Channel has like 5,000 lines. So just like she's just lying in wait for the next fucking stream to begin and like the next thing to pimp.
You gotta keep up with the times. You gotta target the newer characters that people are playing.
Yeah.
And you gotta target popular characters. Like seeing Nami's popularity definitely encouraged me to target her. I mean, I would have done that anyway because I like Nami, right. And she is another pirate character, and she is like an early 2000s anime character, so it is only natural.
I just want to see like a Konosuba character just like titty slap Nami, and then be like, "Why do your breasts not flop everywhere like they did with like Union?" Union also deserves updates. I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm going to break the meme for a second, but Union's a good character. She deserves more updates. Napsu.
I wish she got more updates.
God,
Union anyway. Being abandoned completes her as a project.
SPNatI,
as art, as a piece of art.
So, SPNatI, you made this comment one time, and it's like, I think Napsu just does, like, her characters as art pieces, and I'm like, I talked to her about it, and apparently that's not wrong. Like, I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I just do it to, like, do the performance art, then I'm done with the character. And it's just like, I'm sorry? Like what? Like, so anyway, I don't know. There's something to that, but I don't personally agree with it. Okay. Great podcast, guys. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, you want to do some more?
Can we end with one final little community goings on? The feedback poll?
Yeah, go for it.
The annual general feedback poll, not the character feedback poll, but the general feedback poll came and went recently. They've been moved to the summer because I was lazy and time slipped away. But yeah, so if you were looking for something that wasn't just like popularity contests, like number crunching and ballot stuffing and rigged elections, you have the general feedback poll instead. That was the general feedback poll, that being like actual written out responses for like, oh, who's your favorite character? What character has the best dialogue in the game? What are some like fetishes or unique archetypes that you'd like to see in SPNatI? Are there franchises that we have too many of, also known as Fire Emblem and Pokemon?
As I am making characters for those.
Sorry. Hey, I popular for a reason,
Yes.
When will we ever like I really liked that like flash of the pan 3-month period where we got like 50 Genshin Impact characters, because I was just like, oh, thank fuck, we're done with we can have something new to bitch about. And then it was like, yeah, but no.
and now there haven't been any new ones, so it's literally just flavor of the month.
It's like flavor of the month, but it's like not even flavor of the month. It's like sampler of the month, because we have like Hutao, Sucrose, and Barbara that made it to main, and then we've got like Fischl, Noelle,
and Ganyu
just like in like testing hell, and they're all by Horse Killer models. They're all beautiful. They're all great, and I'm like, but it would be and then we have Alloy, which is kind of a Genshin character, and then like I would just be like, it'd be really cool if we got like.
We'll talk about Alloy next time.
I want to target characters with Sucrose. I just want to talk about like memes. All right, cool.
Yeah, well, but was there anything interesting about your projects or anything in general that you read on the feedback poll?
Yeah, actually, I got some stuff, but go ahead, Fault.
I was about to say I never actually read the feedback poll.
Ooh.
Let me search it up real quick.
Yeah, I'll give you a second. So Natsuki, Natsuki was very popular. I did not get the hate mail I expected to there. Thank you very much for just choosing not to play with things you don't like.
No, nobody called you a pedophile.
I'm pretty sure someone did, but it's just kind of like, okay, guys, like, I don't know, I don't know what to tell you, but Adrian was like, people want more collectibles, and I'm like, ha, lol. People liked Adrian a bit. Marinette, they want the Gwen targets back because people really liked that. I don't know if I'm going to do that now. Just to you know, I just after you've been told, like, yeah, man, like, I've really fixed up Gwen's dialogue, I'm like, I'm the person that wrote this character. It's just still funny to me. So we'll see what happens with Marinette. She's very close to going on to sponsorship again, but it's just, I'm a lot slower at, like, building that than I used to be. People really like Leon. I think they really enjoy the Leon Hu Tao stuff. I was, like, kind of shocked by that. Not in a bad way, but just like, wow, you guys actually really like this, which is cool. Targeting Adrian and Chara, apparently. People really want that. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, I can do that. Sucrose, people really think Sucrose is cute. And that's great. I think I got everything I wanted from the feedback poll. I'm really flattered by, like, the positivity people brought to my characters. And I really do look forward to continuing to grow and expand them until I am no longer producing more content for the game, which is not, you know, too far off, but I'll make it as good as I can until I can't do it anymore.
All right.
I
was about to say, I'm reading through these, and a lot of the stuff that's said about Dawn so far, 10 out of 28 mentions of Dawn. People like to put together Dawn and Cynthia. I wonder why. It's not like I spent months helping or writing that dialogue. Like, I think it was actually like 3 months writing all of that dialogue before, like, shipping it out in one big clump.
Yeah, I think it's a good interaction.
I guess they get recommended a lot together now, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Although we did recently change that. That was a policy change that we introduced a cap to, like, suggested characters based on targeted lines. So Maya isn't instantly put with fucking Jura and Sei because I wrote a million lines back in the day. She actually has some variety now because she targets a lot of different characters. Hopefully we can introduce some weighting to kind of make it like the newer characters, the newer conversations, to highlight those. But yeah, things are happening in SPNatI land. Policy changes, feedback polls, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and some of the other responses are back from when Dawn was still in testing. It's like, no, hold on, she's not in testing anymore. I'm almost done with all these responses.
This poll ran for like a month.
Felt like a lot longer, honestly.
I know you were waiting on the results because you can't read them past like 100.
And some of them are talking about how Dawn doesn't interact with some of the other Pokemon characters, which, to be fair, some of them don't have active writers anymore. Like freaking Guzma, Misty. I think wasn't If I May who picked up Elisa?
If I May picks up like a lot of projects, and he like does
allegedly picked up Elisa, but he's currently working on Caitlin.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Caitlin.
Yeah, like anything he's passionate about is going to turn out well. I had to give him like a whole like comprehensive like competitive rundown on like her battle facility in Gen 4 to explain how it works. Because I was like the only one on the server that had done it.
Sorry about that. That's a Dragon Amber alert.
All right. Well,
sorry. What did you say?
It was an Amber alert for him. The waifus are getting stolen.
Okay.
Okay.
All I want to say about the feedback poll is that, I'm blown away by the amount of like the sheer amount of responses that my girls get. Like I just I just feel like they don't have the star power to deserve this, but they get mentioned quite a lot, and I'm really thankful for it. And especially when they say like, oh, you know, their art or their epilogues are really good. I'm like, really? My God. I mean, I guess a lot of characters just don't have epilogues in general, so it's nice to get to fuck them. But it's like, if this is getting praised, then oh boy. Stay tuned for what I have in store. I swear I'll have content of my own to talk about on these podcasts one of these days.
Okay. All right, team. Well, hey, this will be broken down into 2 episodes. Looking forward to talking next time. Thanks, Fault, for coming on. Good to see you both.
Probably closer to like 2 45-minute episodes, but hey.
We're working on getting it down. We're losing the weight.
Yeah, cool. Hopefully Solitaire can make something out of this.
I'm gonna disconnect now, but cool. Good to talk to you guys.
Thanks to you both.
See you later. Bye.
Yeah, it was fun being here.
Cool.
See ya.
Namasp? Oh god. Oh god, he's dead.
Oh god, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck.
Oh,
You're alive?
what's up?
You're alive?
Yeah, sorry, I'm alive. I was sorry. Yeah, I just got fried rice from my wife. It's very delicious. Cool.
Nice.
Are you saying your wife fried this rice?
My wife fried this rice, yeah.